So we're going to watch an Unter video. They're hilarious, honestly. Absolutely hilarious.
We've talked enough about good Juno and established that good Juno is extremely boring. Let's watch some terrible Juno.
It is very boring.
Let's watch some Juno that makes your eyes hurt. Because if you want to learn how to be good at Juno, what you actually need to do is you need to see how someone plays Juno all wrong and terribly.
There's a couple of things you can do wrong on Juno. You can f*** up the speed ring, you can f*** up the movement, or you can f*** up the pulsars.
You mustn't take the bait here, because in the very first fight, Chia is actually going to do something. But don't be fooled into thinking that just because he did something here, that it's actually good. Because this is a big part of the problem for Chia's Juno. So you can see here, what he did is he rushed in front of his whole team.
But you didn't get any of your team,
his little Orbeez, his torpedoes, or his balls, whatever we'd like to call them, and he just shot them at the enemy team. And it actually worked out wonderfully for him. Because Fielder hit an anti.
Your shot's melee and ult as well. If you f*** up your ult, you probably shouldn't be playing at this level on Juno.
And he managed to basically help clean up a kill on Lee Jae-gon. They went really, really quickly. But Chia did fuck all here. He didn't heal anyone on his team. He put himself in a really risky position.
If those orbs hit everyone on his team, he has so much tempo. You're playing a tempo character and you're damaging the enemy
of a lot of players to do it. And honestly, the only reason they won is because Fielder hit a nutty anti. His balls had nothing to do with this success. And you'll see, there's a consistent issue with Chia on the Juno, is that even though this worked out here, and it helped him get this nice early burst, often, if you use the balls really, really early, you're going to have a problem. You're going to struggle. So here, we'll see. Again,
so we've now got 10 seconds where the enemy team can push it.
Early balls. 0% chance of any healing coming out from this. If you look in the bottom right-hand corner, you'll see that there is now a 9-second cooldown on his balls, a 9-second cooldown on his speed ring, and a 6-second cooldown on the shift. You can see that Chia is playing purely for ult charge, purely for maximum output.
Like, he's never going to get any kills from that. There's no complementary pressure, so...
And this is...
He's just... I guess if he was playing for that, then Fielder shouldn't be on so much... Like, we'll scroll back, actually. Scroll back. So Fielder...
His little Orbeez, his torpedoes for him.
13% ult charge there.
Worked out here. And you'll see, there's a consistent issue stuff here. Often, if you use the balls really, really early...
Fielder just healed up the D.Va.
You're going to have a problem. You're going to struggle.
If they're playing an ult charge game, then Fielder shouldn't have healed up the D.Va. It's very possible that a team has a call on that we're going for Juno ult first and we're just going to try and farm as much Juno ult as possible.
And this definitely get the poke in, and then definitely...
It's not bad if you do that, but I definitely think the team's going to have to fight out
not take a fight
distance.
For the next, 10, 15 seconds. It's okay to just blow your cooldowns for poking. But Overwatch is a game where you need to balance conservatively using your cooldowns for maximum value and using your cooldowns as many times as possible in a
fight. No, they're not stupid. It's clear that they don't want to fight for the next 10 seconds.
And I think here, for Chio...
And we all may venture and we give up forward. I mean, they got Symmetra anyway, so I guess they break the forward hold regardless, but...
Doing what he's doing against a Symmetra comp, it's psychotic.
It goes in.
It's really dangerous. Because if you do that, you're going to get caught with your pants down.
Then if they push it. Yeah, like, well, they have a Symmetra.
When the enemy team puts a TP down, TPs into you, and uses Shout. So now, his teammates are under pressure. He is under pressure. He has no fly, he has no speed ring, and he has no balls, fortunately. Even though he appears to have massive balls with the way that he plays, he actually has no balls. And you can see here, making things even worse, Chia has kited inside.
He has no balls.
Chia's hero can double jump and fly away from things. If Chia were to double jump out here in the open, he may be able to escape the clutches of the Junker Queen. But instead, he's gone to a place with a nice low ceiling so that he can't get away from anyone. So if you're playing Juno, there may be a few takeaways right now. Try to have your balls available for when the skill exchange starts in a fight.
It's very important, guys, to have your balls available
so that you
when
can
the skill
actually
exchange starts.
Heal teammates and damage enemies at the same time, and try to kite into places where you can double jump to safety, rather than where you can double jump to hit your head on a...
Why using flight with ring? Because they were doing a full disengage, theoretically, to try and like get as far away as possible. And wait for the cooldowns. Now, but the enemy team was like, well, he's just burst his entire kit. I guess we'll TP in. Woo! Let's go.
Eyes upon Chio, attempting to double jump to safety. It appears
that was just bad
control. Too close to
that was just bad control. Oh, that
hit his head on a lip and is now dead. But would you look at that? Just as he's dying, his cooldowns are about to come back. Lucky Chio. So I think there are lots of lessons to be learned from the way that Chia plays Juno, because if you basically do the
extra speed, if you speed ring, then flight. Did he flight first?
Of everything that he's doing, as he did in the first fight, where he's put his speed ring down in the choke and then shot at the enemy team's spawn. And this is something which will never net you a kill. It will never save someone's life, and it will never kill anyone.
But he's got ult.
As he did in the first fight, where he's put his speed ring down. He was so down on ult charge that instead of just poking with his gun a little bit and then walking away,
he's just farming the brig ult.
He needed to use all.
He really wants them to have the laser for the next fight.
All of his abilities to do it. Then, you know, they must have been trying to fight with his ult in the next 2 seconds. Because otherwise now, Chio needs to kite away for a whopping 9 seconds before his cooldowns are actually back. You can see that he's farming stats already.
What's he doing?
He is just wasting his cooldowns for no reason. He's charging enemy support ults instead of his own. He's a crackhead. He has no idea what he's doing. And now you can see again, look, it actually looks like this time around Fnatic are going to take their time and Chio will have his cooldowns back. But there's just such spectacularly low value on all of Chio's cooldowns.
Oh, he speed rings here after
he committed his shift here for nothing.
He speed rings after the
to just float around in the back. This is not mindful. This is not demure. This is dog shit. This is somebody that is just pressing his buttons because they're available on his screen. So really, you need this shift available.
You're not wrong.
You need to get a good angle to maximize your value with the balls, with the Orbeez of Juno. You need to get this wonderful panoramic view of the fight. You need to wait until skills are exchanged, and then you need to float up into main, into the open, where you can see both your teammates and the enemy, and then lock on, get 5, 6 targets on your screen, and just ball them, just hit everyone. But instead, Chio, what does he do? He just burns his shift for nothing before anything has happened. Now, if you're going to get the balls, half of the enemy team is going to be hidden behind the pillar. Let's see how he does it.
Oh, it wasn't awful.
Okay, so already I see
why do you ult after using them?
a chronic issue here, where he has used his balls before his ultimate.
Balls, yeah.
The balls really massively benefit from the ultimate. Each ball is 85% damage. I want to say the damage boost from the ultimate is an additional 35%.
He's right, that's the number.
Order of operations, you know, say we're back in high school, something that Chio might not be familiar with, but say we're back in high school, the order of operations is ult, balls, collect your free fight, win. Fortunately, Chio, he didn't learn BODMAS or PEDMAS or whatever else you were taught in high school, so poor little Chio, he comes out here and he goes balls, ult, lose fight instead, and that's a big problem here. So Chio needs to figure this shit out.
Also, the balls are like way too early. Like you should be ballsing on engage, not before engage.
And quick, because the way that you maximize value of your 85 damage lock on to everything on your screen is by making that 85 damage lock on amplified by an additional 35%. So here, Chio has fluffed the order of operations of his ultimate, and then I mean things just.
Why did you just walk in and die?
Go from bad to worse for the guy, because instead of going through his ultimate that amplifies your damage, you can see that he doesn't even know what the ultimate seems to do, because you get that 35% damage amp and you get unlimited healing. What does he do instead? He goes inside, back into the space that we've already established, and he has already learned the hard way that you cannot fly away. He goes into the tiny little insulated space.
And Twitch Unter. Guys, is good.
Which is where this hero
just saying hello to the enemy. Yeah, he's just saying hello to the May. What's the issue? Yeah.
He can't fly away from anything. He goes away from his own damage amping ultimate that he could be walking through and feeds his fucking brains out walking into a car wash of sim turrets and an enemy May. So this is truly...
You know, look at me go for that big health pack. He's like, shit, there's no health pack here. They're just...
A disaster class in Juno. I think, you know, we can reverse engineer this.
What is he? I'm taking it off angle, guys. What's your job? Your job's to heal Diva.
Gameplay. By watching this gameplay, we can actually figure out how to play Juno extremely well. Use your ult
don't
first,
do any of that.
and then use your balls after. Walk through your ultimate in the open space rather than walking away from your ultimate in the enclosed space, because that plays to the opposite of Juno's kit. Position in a manner where you can see the enemy team and your team at the same time, and then throw out your balls and hit everyone.
It looks like a scrim from the teams. Yeah, it's definitely a scrim.
All together when the fight has already started. Don't peek the enemy spawn. Use all 3 of your cooldowns to poke their spawn when you already have ultimate, no less, and then get pushed when you have no cooldowns. Again, wait for the fight to start before using your cooldowns, or make your cooldowns the reason that you're initiating.
And get your OWCS Asia and you're just You're just using balls while at full. Enemy team has their laser beam, and they wouldn't have had their laser beam if you had literally just not used the balls.
With the ult.
Initiate with the
speed ring. But don't just peek, poke, and
I had an argument with someone yesterday that, oh, my Venture video was wrong. I had a YouTube argument, you know, standard me. The Venture video was wrong because D.Va's been playable for a month and a half. And, like, there's been a D.Va meta for ages, and Venture's not being played with D.Va. Well, what the fuck is that, guys? Ah, yeah, boy, Falcons got me. Falcons has me, yeah, boy. It's okay, it's okay.
To be run down by a Symmetra TP. Let's see if we can keep this going. Let's see if we can get some more fights out of Chio, because I'm sure there's more to learn. You know,
I do like my Venture video being a completely disprovable thing, because essentially I will keep moving the goalposts further and further back, and I'm perfectly cognizant of it, and you can call me out on it whenever. When I make a claim, I will shift the goalpost, then shift the goalposts over and over again. Essentially, the idea is that if Venture and D.Va are both good, Venture and D.Va both together will be very good, because the DM is a very good resource for the Venture, allowing them to do literally whatever the fuck they want, which is true, very true, and the same with Zarya. But D.Va's only been valid for like 2 weeks. They only just worked out this comp. I guarantee you, if this runs through a couple more iteration, Venture's going to be played in this comp consistently. They'll play it with Venture, and they'll probably play it with a hit scan or something else on the bigger maps. The trouble with Venture, for the most part, is range. And that's why they don't play it. Range and high ground, you can't go up on Venture. It sucks. No hit scan. Well, you say no hit scan, but there's going to be some balance changes. So yeah, if this iteration keeps going, Venture's going to steal a shitload of play.
I was thinking that I would watch...
It's just people haven't got there yet. I genuinely think a couple more iterations from the pros, they're going to get here. Venture Genji had played a lot, yep.
And talk about how good Juno gameplay is boring.
100%.
But frankly, I think from watching Chiro, we can actually derive all we need to know about this hero, truly. And, you know, maybe I can save the Violet Coma sleeping review for another day. This was actually good ball usage here from young Chiro. Unfortunately, he lined up his ball usage with a D.Va bomb. And the problem with that is that balls are great when the enemy team is peeking you. And when D.Va bombs come out, the enemy tends to de-peek. So one little shortcoming there, but, you know, I digress. He managed to hit a lot of players with his balls.
You don't use orbs when they're using D.Va. Yeah,
he got a lot of lock on. So, you know, credit where it's due. I'll pay that one. We see a nice little speed ring not coming out pre-fight, and they disengage off that.
Do you think he lost Fielder? And this little play here is kind of telling. Like, you see this healing onto Fielder? Heal.
We see a nice...
Looks away.
Nice little speed ring not coming out pre-fight.
Kills a sentry. Why didn't he top off Fielder? Fielder can't aggress in any way, shape, or form to get another nade for, like, until he's pretty much full. Like, the enemy team's on pretty consistent poke damage, I mean.
And they disengage off that, so that's not bad.
Let's Fielder passively heal and just does nothing for the next
Let's see how he approaches this next one. He has balls again.
This Fielder, so let's see if he can... Fielder's a high priority there.
Wait until his tank and his Venture do something in the front, and then throws out his balls. Let's see.
Yep.
This is not bad.
Okay, we called full disengage. Why do we call full disengage? They didn't do anything. Did Hambin just burn too much health? Like, what happened here? Oh, Hambin got whipped into a corner and almost died immediately.
This is not...
That speed ring should have been further forward, I guess.
This is, again, it's not bad. They're trying to
really lock
disengage. He throws down his speed ring. It does seem that there's something a little bit wrong, because he doesn't actually have vision of his Ana when she dies, so maybe there was something a little bit wrong with his position there.
Yeah, I called that out a second ago. Where is Fielder?
This is not
He's
bad.
just looking around. He's lost.
Bad.
Where's Fielder? Is Fielder in the choke behind?
This is, again, it's not bad. They're trying
I hear from Ana, like, in that direction.
Disengage, he throws down his speed ring.
Man.
It does seem that there's something a little bit wrong, because he doesn't actually have vision of his Ana when she dies, so maybe
I feel like Joe literally had no idea where his team was, and we're just like, where are they?
Something a little bit wrong with his position there, where he wasn't aware of his own Ana's position.
He's got a heart attack.
At the end of the day, they're playing into a symmetric...
Eat healthy, guys. You'll die like Ana.
Comp, and they're playing Ana Juno. And that is really difficult for the Ana, because the Ana will often be TP'd on. So
especially when Chio's ignoring you.
Say that this is not in the wheelhouse of the Juno, to be honest. Maybe there was a chance for Chio to save his Ana if he hit some balls on her and then started pocketing her, and he speed ringed her away instead. So maybe a little bit of an awareness issue, but not nearly as critical as
interesting
what
that
we've
I
seen in
can
the
point
first
out
few
that he's missing the top off on the Ana.
Now we see the ring coming out in the choke, but there's no coordination at all with this. When you watch Crazy Raccoons,
it's kind of weird that he shot the TP there.
Playing the Juno comp, you see 3, 2, 1, speed ring goes down. D.Va flies through the Juno. The second the ring comes up, everyone bursts through the ring super quickly. You're not seeing that level of coordination coming out from the Falcons and from Chia right now. When you see the ring go down, it seems like a confused mess.
Like, I know this is a new comp that people are learning, but at a certain point, how fucking hard is it, guys? The fundamentals of the comp are we press the speed ring, the D.Va goes in, we throw a nade at the same time, and the Venture and the May do general Venture and May stuff. Like, it's not that complicated.
Of children standing in the choke doing nothing. So I think that, you know, this is an ability that has really high team play potential, but it looks like the team play is struggling right now. Here, I mean, you know, Chia in the second half.
Dice? Did they... So there's oh, they got antied by the
Here, I mean, you know, Chia in the second half, he's done as best he could, you know? He kept vision of everyone, he hit as many heal orbs as he could, but the anti-heal is what, you know, potentially took them down. Here, second layer of orbs again, he had a nice position for that. You saw he flew up and backwards here, so he could see lots of enemies, lots of teammates. That is max value ball usage right there. Mid-fight, you see everyone. The challenge is making your first layer of balls look like that one. Making sure that you get 2 layers of balls in the same fight, but also hitting everyone at once. Because you see...
Yeah, your first balls have to be as early as possible, but the moment things start happening.
This issue, it's an issue of prematurity. Chia tends to... His balls blow early, is perhaps how I would describe it. Chia, he sees the first opportunity, he sees the first enemy on his screen, and his balls, they pop. They come flying out towards the enemy. And he needs to stop that. He needs to slow things down a little bit, make that first layer a second later. Let the tanks clash, let the DPS engage.
Nice. Okay, they broke choke, or the enemy team just gave up choke for no reason. I didn't think anyone died on...
We see a speed ring in main, and a wide swing.
Were we engaged? Wait, Hanbin didn't go through the speed ring. Hanbin went left and they speed ring right.
And this is bad.
Weird.
This is bad.
What?
Because what's the speed ring in main for? Who is this for? When Juno uses speed ring, she benefits from it.
Surely the play here, right, is you ult in this direction, you speed ring here-ish, not so far away, but like here-ish, and then you stuff your face into this corner and orb. Or maybe you go that way and orb on this corner. You got tempo, you've got the ult, so why are we backing up? They don't have anything that scares us. Like, you look at their ult, they don't have anything. So
through the ring. You actually catch the speed ring no matter where you shoot it. So if this is for him, he doesn't need it. And it looks like his team is
speed ring. You actually do a 3-meter around you AoE of speed
pushing through the white room. So again,
if you fire the speed ring at someone, it can actually go through somebody and not apply the effect. It has to be close.
We're seeing these big coordination issues. And the other problem with going for your balls like this, if your team is pushing through the white room and you swing out here in main, how are you ever going to heal your teammates? Because they're going to be behind this wall right here.
There's a wall right
again,
there. Yeah.
A little bit of an issue here for Chia. I feel like there was a massive opportunity right here.
Like the very fundamentals, right? You're playing a tempo character. If you have ult advantage and you win through tempo, do you know what you do, guys? You just group up, you press W, and you fucking kill the enemy team by pressing W into them. If we have the ultimate and we can just cool down the death laser, the hammer of dawn from above, why are we going off on off angles in order to get a couple more orb shots aggressively into their backline?
For Chia to go for an...
Is it cool just to do a pure dive with an anti and orbs and Hanbin at them?
Engagement with the orbital ray. If he has orbital ray, they can brawl head to head with this composition.
So
maybe he's not doing that because there is a Mei in play, but they also, well, the Mei is dead. The Mei is dead pre-fight. So that shouldn't be an issue. They should be comfortable to just brawl head to head, to force point, drag the enemy out, or just clash head on. But instead, Chia, he's gone...
The funny thing is, it doesn't matter. If you speed ring, they can't cut off the D.Va because the D.Va will just fly all the way around.
into the space that is good for his hero, but it's not good in the context of his team. He can't see his teammates. So how are you going to get high value balls? You're not. It's that simple. And then this orbital ray...
What? Why is it going that way? Are we going to point? Surely we're going to white. Why are we going to point? This makes no
In
sense.
spawn, he can't see anyone. Not a single player is on his screen, and he pulls out the orbital ray. Atrocious. Atrocious from Chio at this point. Because he can't see a damn thing. No enemies, nothing. And you can see this has been completely kited. All the enemy had to do was walk around the corner, throw up their symbol. If they repush right here, then, you know, maybe they're going to make a bad ult
this
look
man
good.
on screen
because they're going to push
Unter.
back into the orbital ray.
We're going to be looking at the yellow cloudy stuff
just on the run. Oh. You see, this is the error. This is not so much a good play from Chio, but they've actually managed to get value from his orbital ray in the end. Because Fnatic, they've made this terrible mistake of pushing into the orbital ray. They've wound up in the enemy team's orbital ray, inside Chio's ult, and they've pushed into their own deaths. They actually completely kited the ultimate out. They had this wonderful sim wall that they could have just backed up behind, held position, waited, but instead they've pushed into their deaths. But to be frank, Chio, I mean, it's disastrous how he's playing this hero.
Oh, I love the melodrama around it.
He never seems to have these good angles to actually get the balls off. His balls always come out too early. Premature balls, bad.
I love how Unter clearly went into this with the kind of like idea of, guys, we got ball puns, so I'm gonna make a segment on it.
Fight space. When he's in good fight space, it appears that his team is not playing around the fact that he's on the Juno. His team pushes inside, and he's miraculously outside. He's using his ult to run away from people.
Something other than balls? No.
Which is never what you want to see. Team 2 is Fnatic, and Team 1 is Falcons. And quickly, you know, just to wrap this up, I'll show you what good Juno gameplay can look like.
Yeah, boring as hell. You just stand on main, you press W when you press W, and you go for a slight off angle with your flight, mid-fight for the orbs.
Over on the second screen right now, you'll see Violet, who's probably the best Juno in the world right now. And the sad reality of good Juno gameplay is that it's a little bit boring. It's all about holding a strong position where you can simultaneously see your team and see the enemy, and just playing that mid ground, playing for uptime, playing for constantly shooting the enemy and your team with your balls.
I don't think this is boring, stating yourself
at the same time. A panoramic view. And you see, there's no better position to see both the enemy and his team than this top right. He can see all of the enemy up in...
It's not boring to take a good angle and just do stuff from it, like you're playing support.
He can peek off to the left, yep, and straight away the chat goes to sleep because this is boring as. But that's the reality of Juno. If you want to get high value, you need to be patient. You need to play in the mid ground. You need to see teammates and enemy. Already, from 2 uses of the balls from Violet, we've seen more enemies and teammates hit in this time than we saw in the...
No, the problem with Chio was that they were misusing it. Like, if you're in mid-fight, the idea is you generally just want to use it on anything you can see, but I don't think Chio's play was particularly more exciting. No,
gameplay.
They just went off on their own and tried to suicide.
A subtle off angle where you can see both the enemy and your teammates, and you don't use your balls until you see skills committed. That's the difference between a good Juno and a bad one. There's patience, and there's positioning off to the side. The problem with Chio is that he has no patience. He blows early, he blows quick, and then his balls get no value whatsoever. Sometimes a ball that is most valuable is one that you have to wait a little bit for.
That's true. And yeah, that is one thing we all have to learn in life, honestly. The one thing we all have to learn, the ball that is most valuable, is the one that you may have to sometimes wait for. I'll link it because that's good.